Hi, Kat. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Hey, sorry it took so long. If I'm going to do a free one, I kind of feel obligated to get the ones that had paid first, and I've been kind of in and out of work, doing work lately. Anyway, sorry it took a little while, but there's always a reason. Always a reason why I feel like, oh, don't do it today. I mean, it's just kind of weird how it works. Anyway, we're going to talk to Bucky, or not, we're going to do this for Bucky from ALISHA. So let me explain to him real quick kind of how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. And I try to describe the picture the best I can. It's they never waste a message. I can't even talk today. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. And if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind, because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what she's talking about. This is not an exact science. Communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. She won't give me all the details. She'll give me just enough so hopefully you know what she's referring to. And things come out of my mouth, and then people tell me later, and they make no sense to me, but they don't have to. It's none of my business. I'm just the messenger. She says, I love you so very much. Oh, she's going to make me cry. You were my strength. You were my tower. I knew I was never alone, even when you were not in the same room. It gave me peace, knowing you were there. And you didn't even have to be there. You could have been at the grocery store. She still could feel that. And it gave her strength, even though she knew she wasn't going to overcome this. It gave her strength that she could go through it because of you. She says, now I want to give you strength so that you can go through this. It's kind of like a trade-off. She was hurting, you gave her strength. Now that you're hurting, she wants to give you strength. And I will explain, when you're in really deep grief, to me, this just doesn't make any damn sense. But it's harder for you to feel her, get the signs, things like that. It's hard for them to get through your deep grief. It's like a wall. And yet that's when you need it the most. So I don't quite get it. But anyway, that's the way it works. So just know that anything she might say right now, or you're wanting to hear from her, it might be just because you're deep grief, and it might just be a little bit down the road before you start really getting it. So you will feel her in bed, like curled up to you, and it's like she's cold. Like maybe that's what she did when she was still here. She'd be cold, and you would get up next to her and give her some of your warmth. It's kind of like that kind of a snuggle. It will be very slight, probably. I never know how somebody else will receive the energy for exactly, because you're not going to feel it like I do. And she's doing it very gentle, so it's not going to be a real strong feeling. Strong feeling. It might later. It's totally up to how she can move her energy. We don't have these anymore. We're pure energy when we leave. This is just our vehicle to ride around like our car on Earth. Our soul runs around in. And then once we get rid of this heavy old car, then we're still the same person. We're still the same soul. We're the same spirit. I know you don't want to hear all that babbling, but I think she wants me to explain that to you. There's a reason. I love you to the depth of my being. Back in the day, there was times I wanted to throw stuff across the room and hit you. She ever throw dishes at you across the room or something when she was mad? She says, but deep down, we both loved each other very, very much. And I'm so blessed I had you there to be by my side when I was going through this. But it was meant to be. Don't go yelling at God. It was meant to be. That's the way it was planned. What they taught me is before we come here, before we're born, we decide an exit point. Why? I have no clue. I don't get to help make the rules. It makes no sense to me. Another thing, but we can decide that we're going to exit when we're 1 day old or when we're 100 years old. Whatever's going on around us, that timeline can waver a little bit because somebody else might learn something different from it. We might need to change it just a little bit. I don't know if we decide how we're going to leave. I've never got a clear-cut thing about that, but the timeline, when we're going to leave, it's like when they say your number's up, it's kind of like, yeah, it is that way. So she was going to leave at this time. She did try to hang on longer because of you. And then she decided, because of you, it was time to go. Don't blame yourself for that. She didn't want to be a burden anymore. She was tired, just so tired, like there was just no life left in her. But she didn't want to leave you. And she said, basically, she hasn't. She's there, she'll be there in a different way. It's a different relationship. But they're still with us. It's like they're on the other side of the wall. She says you're going to smell her. Smells, sounds, electronics are easy things for them to manipulate. I hate the word manipulate. Like if you put a big boulder in your living room and ask them to move it for a sign, that's not going to happen. It'll be something that's easy for them to do because we don't have these anymore, remember? So it's got this some smell. I don't think it's a perfume. It's not anything like that. I don't know if it's the medical part smell, something that when you smell it, you're going to know it's her. When you get that, that's a sign from her. Validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs. Give her permission to bring you more signs. But like I said, when you're in that really, really deep grief, it might take a little bit to get through to you. She says also, you don't want to admit that she's gone. You're not ready to admit to yourself that she's not coming back. That she's left you alone and lonely. She says that's coming out. That's out your mouth, out of your head. Did you feel alone and lonely without her? So she's going to try to let you know that she's still there. She's showing a star in the sky. She also shows the moon, but I think it's more that you're talking to the stars. It could be both because she's showing both, but the star is more prominent. And you look at it and you talk to her. You talk to the star. You look at the star and you talk to her, hoping she can hear you. She hears you. I promise you 1,000% they can hear you, they can see you. Talk to her all you want to. And if anybody says you're holding her back from doing whatever she needs to do, or you're keeping her soul earthbound or anything like that, that's poo-poo. You cannot put a rope on them and tie them. So by talking to her all the time if you want to, and you don't have to talk out loud, you can do it telepathically. You can talk to her all you want to. It does not hold her down to the earth and where she can't get away and do something that she needs to for her soul. Like I said, you can't tie a rope on them. So, but know that she will be there willingly. She says, just the thought, and I'll be there. She's showing what looks like a hardwood, can't talk with these teeth, hardwood floor. Don't know if she's showing me the exact spot, or this could be just a random spot. Almost looks like by a kitchen cabinet, but it's looks like a hardwood floor, and it's like scratching noise on the floor, like something scratching. She just keeps doing it. So I don't know if she's just trying to make a noise when you walk into the kitchen to let you know that she's there. And if any of the noises, sound, smells, if any of those things bother you, I mean, if it's creeps you out, spooks you, whatever, tell her. Bring me something softer, bring me something that's not so scary. A lot of people want to go to cleanse their house. They go, oh, my house is haunted because, I've seen a shadow figure and I hear noises. It's grandma, and they're trying to let you know, hey, I'm here. It's not usually a demon. So if there's any of those sounds that scare you, tell her. But it will also help if you ask her to bring you signs. Not beg, not demand. Ask her to bring you signs. Give her permission. She says you have literally grabbed your hair and pulled and yelled. Even if you didn't yell out loud, screamed in your head maybe. And just from the sheer pain of this. She says you have to go through this. Nope, it's not your time yet. So just stop thinking that way. You've got obligations you need to do. You've got things to finish and clean up. She's showing, looks like a blanket, special blanket that she had, that you sleep cuddled up to, that you even sit in the chair with sometimes and hug it, a blanket that she wore over her to keep warm. And I don't know if this has already happened or going to happen, and somebody comes in and wants to touch it or pick it up or fold it or wash it or something, and you kind of flip out. Tell them to get their damn hands off of it. Don't change the smell. She said that's okay. She says it will be okay later. All of it will be okay later. It's the way it's supposed to be. Something about a dog. Do you guys have a dog? Is there a dog that was special to her? Or maybe a dog that's already passed? She's not showing me the dog. Usually they'll show me. She just mentions a special dog. She's not even showing me if it's big or little. And it's her show. It's whatever she feels is best to say or show. kind of a hairy dog. She wants you to know that she was not in pain when she left, even if her physical body seemed to look irritated. She was not in any pain when she left. She was actually watching a beautiful angel who was waiting for her. And I see this almost every single time. Beautiful angel waiting to guide her. There's also an older lady that was waiting for her. She saw these before she left. And an older lady, I almost want to say great-grandmother. It's a grandmother type feeling. It's not always a blood grandmother. Sometimes the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother clear across the country. But she was like in total peace. It's like she could let go. She was so much at peace. And yet she heard every single word you said. Even right towards the end when you think that they can't hear you, or I know she died of cancer. She could have had a morphine thing. Like my friend, he was in the hospital the night before he passed. He died of cancer, and they had him on so much morphine for the pain. But yet there was several of us in the room, and we were talking stories about him, you know, that we knew him, things that we did over the years with him. And I could watch his breathing. And you could see that when he wanted to chime in and, you know, talk about the story that we were talking, and you could watch his breathing change because he heard us. He heard everything. They can hear. And she can hear you now. But again, she's going back. But she was just so at peace and so ready to go because there was so much love coming in from this angel and this lady that she told him she was ready to go with him. Even though she didn't want to leave you. It's such a beautiful feeling that I've only got to feel it 2 or 3 times probably, that it's way above and beyond anything we feel here. The total love and acceptance. She says, don't cry for me because I'm fine. I don't have this heavy body that hurt anymore. And I'm perfect. My soul is being taken care of. I can come see you whenever I want. And she's going to stroke your head. And you will feel that. Maybe not yet. You will feel that. And like if a fly lands on my spiky hair, you know, I can feel it. So it could be just that slight. Or you could actually feel like hot. Could be tingling. Oh, now she's making my head itch. Could be like goosebumps on your head. Sometimes they get so strong it'll feel like little pins sticking. I don't know how you will receive the energy or how strong she's going to push it. But it'll be like stroking your head. She says, thank you for being so selfless. I know it was hard. And I hated it. I hated what it was doing to you. But know that love never dies. Our love will never die. And one day you'll realize that. You're going to think that she's standing next to you and you turn your head and she's not there. She's not showing me that you're going to see her. You might later, but that you're going to feel her next to you. And you know how somebody can enter the room and you don't hear them, you don't see them, but you feel them. You're feeling their energy, and you turn around and you go, ah, somebody's here. I was in a bar one time and I felt somebody standing here, and there was even, I don't even know if I was doing this work yet. And I turned around and go, yeah, there's nobody there. And on the other side of me, a girl walked up and ordered 2 Blue Moon beers at the exact moment. Blue Moon is a big sign from Bob to me. So I knew that, but you know, you put 2 and 2 together. So you'll get those little coincidence things. They're not coincidences. She's going like this. Like, do you have hair on your chest? She's going like this, like on your chest. So maybe she played with your chest or the hair on your chest or whatever you have there, and you will feel that again. Again, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs. Give her permission and let her know that you know that's her. And it kind of opens a floodgate for them when they go, oh, they're getting it. They understand that's a sign. I'll do more. Please be kind to Sherry or Cherry, or we stink at names. We stink at names. So take that Sherry, Cherry name, something Marie, I don't know. Might have to stretch that a little bit. That's one of those you'll have to stretch outside the box a little bit, because we really stink at names. And the more I say it, the worse it gets. Jinxing myself. Just remember, I love you, babe. And I'll be around. Not letting go of you that easy. And with that, she's going to leave. She says, I think I have probably overwhelmed you with just this little bit right now. And know that you have a special friend in Kat. She's a good friend. And with that, she's leaving. So watch for those smells. I don't remember what all she said now, what all she was doing. Anyway, the feelings, the feeling her around. And like I said, it may take a little bit still, and it may not. But once you get the first one, it's like, oh, yes, it's like a little light bulb will go off. So, sorry for your loss. She's not saying anymore. Much love to you, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.